Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I wanted to start 20 minutes earlier, but I kept having a series of frustrating delays. It's wrecking my timelines, man. Okay, it's really irritating. Well, anyway, I'll try to get past that, calm down. Now, I wasn't enraged or anything. I was just aggravated. So we got Tullamore. Well, let's go in chronological order. We got Bushmills original. Now it says 1608. But they're not saying this started in 1608. If you read the bottle carefully, it says original grant to distill 1608. Ireland's oldest whiskey distillery, Bushmills, Irish whiskey, smooth and mellow. Finest blended Irish whiskey, they claim, triple distilled, trademark, crafted in County Antrim by the old Bushmills company, which is Proximo Spirits. It tells you on the back of the bottle. That's the owner. A special blend of Bushmills single malt whiskey distilled in copper pot stills combined with fine grain whiskey. .40 proof, 40% alcohol, 80 proof. And then it's got a nice embossed glass, square bottle, easier for shipping, takes up less space because we can put them together. 1784 is when Bushmills whiskey really hit the market. 1784, and the old advertisements used to say that. But there was a grant given in 1608 by the royal government, which would have been King James the First, or if you were in Scotland, King James the Sixth. But anyway, to distill at Bushmills. Okay. Now they claim on the website the recipe has not been changed since 1888. Oh, but a recipe is a formula, right? It's an algorithm. So how has it not been changed? Now they're saying it's aged 3 years, but it used to be age 6. Now it's 80 proof, but it used to be 86.6 proof. 80, 86.6. Okay, well, maybe the grains are exactly the same ratio. It might be 80% grain whiskey. I don't know if they're using corn or wheat. They don't say. 20% single malt. I don't know, but the aging has changed and the proof has changed. So, the alcohol level has changed. So I don't know how they can claim it's the same recipe. But anyway, that's their claim. So I'm not going to argue with them. But they should say the recipe is generally unchanged since 1888. But like I said, I'm not arguing with them. Trademark, there it is, copper pot still. This runs about $23 a bottle. You might find it for $19.99 somewhere on sale, but I doubt it, but you might. It's the white label. It's the original. It's the base model. It's the flagship, okay? They have very expensive agings. There's a 27 year age, I think, that'll cost you about $350. So it's like that with almost all of these companies, regardless of who owns them. They start at a base level and it goes up. Say, well, that's the same with trucks. You can get the Ram 1500 Workman I think is a Chevrolet. And then you go up and you can get to an exorbitant price, right? For the was it the Laramie or something? Ford has the King Ranch. And these you could start at Tullamore D.E.W base model. No age statement, but it's probably 3 years. We know the Bushmills is 3. And it's a basic. It's the one you see at all the bars, whatever. It's not fabulous or most, incredibly great for $23, $26. It's $26 at Walmart, but I got it for $13 because they had this shockingly great discount of 50% off. $13 for a $26 bottle. Couldn't pass that up. Okay, so these are the two entry level, Tullamore and the Bushmills. And like I just finished telling you, you can move way up the ladder. And I mean way up the ladder. I can see right now that the Tullamore is darker. It's not significantly darker, but it is darker. It's more amber, and the Bushmills a little bit more gold. Prediction. Well, there are partisans. Some people are saying, go Bushmills, go Bushmills. Other people are saying, go Tullamore Dew, go Tullamore Dew. I'm saying, I don't have a favorite. Let the best whiskey win, or I should say the better whiskey win. It's only two. I got the websites linked below. Let me just get off of those. I don't need to reference those again. And I think the Tullamore Dew is going to have a slight advantage, a little richer flavor, more savory, luxurious flavor. I used to be Baptist until I converted to Catholic in 2001. So I used to push for Bushmills, wink, wink, and now I push for Tullamore Dew, D.E.W, wink, wink. But honestly, with that Irish conflict, I have no horse in the race. I don't take sides. I know some Americans act like they Irish, you know, like they live in Ireland or something. Oh, it's 2016. It's the anniversary of all of this, and they're so touched and all of that. And I'm thinking, you're not Irish. You have Irish background. I know you went on a trip to Ireland once and you kissed a stone and you drank Murphy's or Guinness and you took photos and posted like 65 photos in a gallery that nobody looked at. I'm not being negative, but you know how people do on Facebook? They're like, you know, we went to the Grand Canyon. Look at our photos, and they have like 55 photos. I'm like, who's going to look at that? No one likes to look at other people's vacation photos. You know, we know what it's going to be. And then it's like, here's the husband standing in front of the Grand Canyon. Here's the wife standing in front of the Grand Canyon. Here's the first child, the second child, the third child. Here's the husband and wife standing there. Then it's the husband and wife and all the kids standing there. And then it's all three kids standing there. Then it's one of them drinking a Slurpee. And I was like, what is all of this? You know, it's a personal interest thing. It's like, that's not a general interest thing. But I mean, you know, you like it. If I see people and they go on a trip and they posted a photo, and I'll say, oh, that's nice. You know, I went there one time and it was really nice. It was interesting and all, but to sit there and look at 55 photos, I can't see that. All right. And to get involved in the Irish conflict, I cannot see that. I'm not Irish. I don't live in Ireland. I don't live in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the British control part. I wish the people wouldn't fight and argue, and I wish they would work out things peacefully. I wish people could work out things peacefully. They've had a peace agreement or a ceasefire for 23 years. It's been holding together okay, I guess. And well, I wish them the best, but I don't. But some of these friends of mine on Facebook, I said, like, why don't you go join the IRA or something? You know, put your money where your mouth is. You know. Then they'll post a photo. Then the next post will be something about we have to stop terrorism. I'm like, well, you support it. You know, you can't. It's funny how people, if they'd be against terrorism, unless it's their guys, and then they support it. You know, terrorism's terrible. Well, what about this case? Oh, well, I like those people, so it's all right if they set off a bomb. I was like, oh, okay. Your morality is like Hillary Clinton's politics. They evolve. They're malleable. Okay, good. The Dixie Baseman says, good morning, Ron. Bushmills is 35 to 37% versus the Dew at $26 to $28 a bottle. Oh, I see money. Where I live, personally, I could go either way, but I don't feel Bushmills $8 to $10 better. And Louisiana, it's the same price, so it's a tie. Same alcohol level, same price point here. I'm talking about here. Other states have different pricing regimens and schemes. So cheers to the Irish Republic. Cheers to British-controlled Northern Ireland. Cheers to the President of Ireland. Cheers to Queen Elizabeth II. And cheers to my neutrality, my absolute and incontrovertible neutrality in the situation. Not to mention in every other world conflict, I'm totally neutral. You say, no, you can't be neutral. Well, yeah, I can be actually. All right. I've had people tell me that, well, if you're neutral, that means you support the bad guy. I say no, because CBS News said he's a bad guy. That probably means he's a good guy. All right. You're the victim of the propaganda effort, not me. This smells like grain alcohol. Grain alcohol, grain, wheat, corn, column distilled, smells like not rubbing alcohol, exactly, but along those lines, ethanol, like grain spirits. It's not a bad smell, but it's not, super luxurious in the aroma. You can taste it on your tongue, like I told y'all. If you breathe in whiskey and you put your tongue out a little bit, you can taste the fumes. Yeah. I would say this is a similar nose, but maybe I'm getting a little bit bread crust, which I'm not getting there. Now, remember what I said. This is very important. If you taste a whiskey on its own in a solo review, okay, it's going to taste a certain way. Now you start putting it in the tournament, the taste challenges. It's going to taste different against whiskey A, B, C, D, and E, and F. I don't know why. You say, well, that's just you. Okay, well, that's just me. I can only taste for myself anyway, so that would be apropos and appropriate. But to me, my experience, it changes. Each one makes the other one change. It's like a different perspective thing, and it's like, ooh. Also, you were a Baptist. I'm shocked. I'm kidding. I grew up Baptist as well. I was raised Baptist. I was actually raised Methodist. So, and I believed it. I was raised in it. Seemed pretty legitimate, And we had Sunday school, which is like catechism for Catholics. They call it catechism. And I never took issue with anything they taught. But my mother was more, well, cued in on what was happening. So she was like really alert to, like, they were becoming very liberal, left wing, and adopting a lot of bad ideas. So she was like, this is not good, Plus their youth group was, well, this is not a Methodist town where I live. It's like, if you had $1 for every Methodist, you wouldn't have any money. You wouldn't even be able to buy this, probably a few bottles of whiskey. So she wanted us like with more, and then the Baptist church was getting big here because of all these immigrants. I call them immigrants from Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia and Florida and Arkansas. They come down here to work at DuPont, Shell, Nalco, Marathon Oil, and all these big refineries here, you see. So my mother was always kind of like jealous in a way of the Baptist. She said they raiding our church. That's how she felt. They raid us, They like try to steal members, convert them all. But then she felt like their youth group had superseded ours. So we joined, so to speak, started going to that church. I wasn't in love with their approach, like I used to think like this is very non-intellectual, like the Methodist was sort of more an intellectual approach. Whereas over there, it was more like emotionalism, like Jesus loves you. You have to get saved. Here's my testimony. And you say you're mocking that accent. It is a mockery because that's the way they all spoke, because they were from Alabama and Arkansas and Georgia, Tennessee and everything. And they would always like constantly harp on how they hated Louisiana. And that used to turn me off too. It's like, man, we're from Mississippi. We hate this state. This bunch of Catholics. And they would always talk about Catholics, like constantly talk about Catholics. And I never grew up with that like exposure, as Methodists, we like never talked about Catholics. We didn't care. We just weren't obsessed with that. But they were. They would just constantly be just like nutty in the head over that. And they would constantly talk about it and make little snide jokes, ugly, kind of like ugly remarks, bigoted remarks, really. And I would kind of like just listen, say, But anyway, that's another story. But thank God I did what they told me to do. They said, you got to read the Bible and believe everything it says because it's literal. I said, okay, I'll do that. And I read it. And then I said in 1998, hey, this is like Catholic teaching. Oh, no, it is not. No way, baby. And I said, no way, brother. No way, friend. See, they call you friend when they don't think you're really a Christian. They call you brother when they think you're a Christian. All right. So I said, yeah, it does. And I would show them. I said, I can show you how it's Catholic. You know, oh, no, it doesn't really mean that. That's when I said, wait a minute. So anyway, I had to take my vitamin C. Anyway, it was pretty funny, you know, like comical in a way. Like they would violate their own paradigm. You know, their whole paradigm was the Bible is the repository of all truth. All truth comes from the Bible, they would say. And you have to believe everything in it, literally. Okay. But remember, I was raised Methodist, so you reach logic, you start with a premise and then you reach a logical conclusion. So, and I would tell them, how come everything, I say, how come everything in the Bible that seems to support the Catholic teaching, we say, oh, it doesn't really mean that. So I went to talk to the Catholic priest and he said, yeah, they always do that, you know. Well, we don't have to do it. See, we don't have to say, well, it doesn't really mean that. He said, there's nothing in the Bible you're going to show me that I'm going to say, oh, it doesn't really mean that. So I went back over there to them and they kept saying that. And I was like, let me get out of here because you're not following your own program. You're just following whatever fits. You're like the New York Times, you know, all the news that fits. So I was like, I got to go with the truth. I can't play these games with these people, you know. Different alcoholic drinks can affect each other. It's why during tastings, they encourage you to cleanse your palate right. The same thing happened to me. My pastor acted like he had a stroke when I told him. Yeah, they weren't too happy when I told them. But I know what they said. They probably just said, well, he probably wasn't saved anyway. That's always their excuse, you know. If you turn against the faith or you start living bad, drinking, taking drugs, living in sin or whatever, they'll just say, oh, he wasn't really saved anyway. Because they can't say, well, he fell away or he lost his salvation because they don't believe that, you know, they believe in Calvinism that you're like, you have no free will, basically what they teach. You don't have free will. So they have to use these like these illogical little tap dances to get around things like that. Thank you, Lord, that I got out of that. I guess they were glad I left because they were probably worried I might drag more people into the truth, you know, and get them. They didn't want that. They're all, you know, I wasn't going to exactly help their recruiting efforts, let's say. But I have no hostility actually at all. I like all those people. I just don't like what they believe. Okay. Um, it's like a little bit of bread crust, but it's mostly just grain alcohol here. It's like, hey, y'all, you want to drink some grain alcohol? Alcohol, however you pronounce that word, has people make fun of me for saying alcohol. The way I say it is alcohol. Oh, look, there's a bottle of alcohol. But people have told me that's not the way you pronounce it. I'm from Illinois, and I'll show you how to pronounce it. I said, well, you have a nerve telling me how to speak because look how you speak. People in Illinois talking about, hey, I'm going to the skating rink. You want to come with? And I say, come with what? Like, come with a bag, come with snacks. I mean, why are you ending this sentence with a preposition? But they mean, do you want to come with me? So I was like, no, no one that speaks that way is going to tell me how to pronounce words. I'm going to the baseball game. Do you want to come with? And okay, I say, hey, y'all. That means, hey, you all, meaning all you people in general. And they say, hey, you guys. Okay, it's fine. If you want to say, hey, you guys, I never heard people say that when I grew up. Never, like in my whole life, except on TV, you know, television shows, they would say, hey, you guys. Everybody here would just say, hey, y'all. Okay, y'all, it's time to get nice. This is obviously Tullamore Do. This is obviously Tullamore Do. Daniel E. Williams, Full Metal Jacket. You know why? You curious? I'm curious. I'm very curious. The man's he reads poetry out loud, all right? No, it's got a lot more bread crust. It's like rich bread dough. Well, the British won the Irish struggle because they still control Northern Ireland. And I guess the British won this Irish whiskey war because this tastes better. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if I had it wrong? Man, this is remarkable because they're a lot different one from the other. Neither one is great. I'm not gonna say they're talking about they're great. Who in the world thought they were great? You didn't think they were great because you saw the price. Obviously, they're not great. People use that word too loosely. You know, everything is great. You know, everything is great. I ate some Popeyes chicken. Did you try that new sandwich? It was great. Oh, really? All right. Man, that's got some grain alcohol. Like that is like Shell gasoline with 10% ethanol. I'm serious. It's funny that they still call me back to sing for them because I hit a O or lower with a mic pretty regularly. You mean MIC regularly. And to my face, they're lovely. Behind my back, oh, do they complain? It's sad in a way because they're thinking that you're going to die and go to hell. Like literally, a lot of them think that way. And it's like, why would you think that? And it's because they have this like formula, like literally think people are going to go to heaven or hell because of a formula, like an algorithm. And you say, well, no, it's not really an algorithm. You know, these are a recipe. You know, you follow the Bushmills recipe and you get just said tastes like Shell gasoline with ethanol, and this tastes like bread crust. But it's not like, well, people go to heaven because they follow the algorithm, and the other ones go to hell because they didn't follow the algorithm. That's almost like sorcery, you know. That's why I said that I felt like Protestantism had its roots in the occult, like Gnosticism, like a secret doctrine, you know. And if you look at Martin Luther and his logo, he chose a rose and a cross as his logo, a rose and a cross. And to me, that's very suspicious because he could have chosen any symbol, you know, but why a rose and a cross? You say, well, what does that mean? Well, if you study the Rosy Cross, the Rosicrucians and Rosicrucianism, then you'd say, wait a minute, something ain't on the up. Something's not obviously on the up and up. It's just there's no way that's an accident. Cannot happen. You know, it'd be like in the movie Casino when the guy hit. You know, when they hit on 3 slot machines in a row, hit the remember what he said. You hit what do you call it? You got hit on 3 machines in a row. You didn't see you were getting set up on the second win. That's an impossibility. It cannot happen. The probabilities are in the billions, okay, that you could hit the jackpot 3 in a row at a casino. So it was obviously fixed. And then that's why he said that Don was either in on it or he was too stupid to realize what was going on. But either way, he could not have him working there. And that's why I say for Martin Luther to have a rose and a cross as his logo and it be a pure accident, that's an impossibility. I don't believe that. That cannot happen. He was an educated person. He was a university instructor. He was a Catholic priest. He didn't do anything by accident. You know, he was very meticulous in every action he took. So, you know, I'm not buying. I just think something's up with that. Anyway, something's up with this. I know people are saying, why you got to get all, you're like, be metaphysical. Like you're supposed to do a whiskey taste challenge and all this metaphysical stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's the whiskey. Blame it on that. Blame it on the rain. All right. So I'm saying, well, better not rain today. I'm saying this is the Bushmills. It's got a little alcohol fuel taste. I'm not in love with it, but let's see. I'm mortified now. I'm going back to the Baptist church. I renounce everything I just said. This is T.E.W. T-D-E-W. Oh, I can't believe it. I'm shocked, stunned, befuddled, confused. I'm dazed and confused. It's so long, for so long, it ain't true. Well, just goes to show you. Oh, but wait, what was I saying? I got disoriented. I was saying that that the British won, right? Remember I said they won the battle and they still had Northern Ireland. But I was confused on that. I did think this was T.E.W. though. I was like mixed up on the origin. Sorry about that. But I thought this was the Tullamore because I was keyed in on what was that key feature I was talking about? The bread crust. But it was the Bushmills that has the bread crust on this case. In this case. Amazing. I'm like Paul McCartney. Maybe I'm amazed. Well, I thought the Tullamore dude was going to run away with it, you know. So sorry about that mix up earlier where I was talking about I got the two countries confused. No. But anyway, I had the taste right. I said, this tastes better, and it does. But it's the Bushmills. And I thought the Bushmills might lose. I thought the Bushmills, honestly, probably would lose. But it won. Now, tomorrow, Thursday, I guess, obviously, the Black Bush is going to win because Black Bush is aged like 8 years, right? And it's 80% grain. 80% single malt whiskey. So, I don't see how Tullamore or D.E.W. is going to beat Black Bush. That doesn't seem like a credible expectation. Now, the Red Bush, okay. Red Bush is a strange little product, aged in the bourbon barrels. So, I guess it could be a really tough taste challenge like today. So I appreciate you listening to me talking about religion. I just like bringing in these like little reference points. They're kind of fun to talk about. I guess the real issue is I get bored, like just straight liquor reviews, beer reviews, just people saying, oh, this. And then you watch the next video, this. And then you watch the next. So it just becomes sort of monotonous. Not to say I don't like it. I watch videos. I listen to these beer, wine, and liquor reviews constantly. Like I told y'all, I'm more of a viewer than a producer. I don't really produce content as much as I view. And I like to make comments on people's channels. Some people are not very kind. They don't make responses. And don't say, well, it's just you they don't like. No, just look at their channel. They don't respond to anybody. Oh, maybe here and there. And it's very short and like, yeah, okay, thanks. Well, I don't have time to talk to you because you're just a viewer. I'm selling t-shirts. So I like to do the interaction with the people. So, and it's interesting. And when people are on a long video that I watch and they're talking about something I don't care about, like they might be talking about a 1976 Datsun 280ZX. Well, I just fast forward through that. All you got to do is click through it and go to the next part. That's easy to do. I do it all the time. All right. So let's go to the last comments. Then we're finished. Well, I never would have thought. I really wouldn't have thought. I'd have bet you money. I'd have lost too. But I would have thought, no way, Bushmills is not going to dominate. And secondly, I thought I was going to get it right. But I was wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. See, I'm not going to go delete the video because I got it wrong. They have some weird, the Dixie Bassman says, they have some weird roots, like claiming the Anabaptists were true Christians and they were Gnostics. Gnostic. Yeah. Very weird people that had roots in, which, if you want to say witchcraft, and very bizarre ideas about the world. And that's why, the Baptists, they have this antipathy, this idea that alcohol is bad. They don't drink alcohol. They're abstainers. But see, alcohol is a neutral object. Jesus turned water into wine, but then they'll come up with these, oh, it was grape juice. He turned it into grape juice. Well, then the whole Bible story doesn't make any sense. You see, it's like they won't discuss these things. They really will not discuss it. They just won't discuss it. That's how they do it. That's how they avoid it. They don't discuss. So, and I used to teach Sunday school for years, and the Bible instruction books, you know what I mean? The instructional material was very basic. It was like very elementary. And then going to the Catholic, which was much more, you know what I'm saying, developed. But you see, the Gnostics have that strange abstentious, because they taught that the world, the material world, was evil. And that the human body was evil. So and they had some really strange ideas. So then the Baptists will say that, like, and I'll tell them it was a neutral object. Being a drunkard, yeah, because that's a behavior, you see. And I don't want to get into it too much, but and at that price, it's like going to Olive Garden and thinking that's a great Italian cuisine. Yeah, right. That's a Tullamore don't, says Marius Cronin. Yeah, it really is. I can't believe it. I'm shocked to the core. But I'm not dismayed and I'm not defeated. It's the risk you take when you do these taste challenges, doggone it. So, okay, I got it wrong. No big deal. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to do the Black Bush. Well, I think that's going to be a wipeout, But now, after today, you got to be hesitant to make these big proclamations. Well, gotta say it was an interest. You might have thought this was the most boring thing you ever watched, but I thought it was interesting, and I love these kind of things. And so thanks for watching this video production. Cheers to Bushmills. You shocked me. You shocked me. You shocked me. You shocked me. What? 2 thumbs up. I'm holding the bottle, so 1 thumb up, 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up to Bushmill. You did a great job this morning. Ooh.